So the next one is كل شجرة بثلاث. كل شجرة بثلاث. What does it mean? Hmm? كل شجرة, here it means every tree بثلاث, three, with three. If you translate word for word, something doesn't make sense. Every tree with three. So this is kind of like proverb, and we will understand what it means. So I'll give you a hint what he's trying to say. For every tree, you associate three. So every tree, there's something should be three. What is it? Inshallah, we'll find out. Okay, so just leave this one hanging. This is a proverb, so we'll know the meanings to the end of the story, inshallah. جيد. So let's start. كانت إحدى القرى الصغيرة تقع على قمة جبل عال. So what he's saying, we already know the uses of kana. We don't want to spend too much time. إحدى قرى. Al-qura. What is qura? Anybody knows? Yes, qura is the plural for village. Village is qarya. Qarya. Okay, qarya, and the plural is qura. So one of the villages. What a village? Small village. One of the small villages, taqa'u. What is taqa'u? What does waqa'a means? Waqa'a. Waqa has a lot of different meanings, honestly. One of the meaning is to fall. One of the meanings to fall. So for example, you can say waqa Muhammad al ard. So Muhammad fell on the ground. But waqa also means to locate, to be located. Yes, exactly what you're saying. It to be placed in somewhere. Okay, so this is the meaning we have. So one of the small village, taqa'u, is located or in place ala qimmati jabalin al. So what is qimma? Qimma means like something that is the highest, maybe peak, top, something that the peak of something. So top of Jabal Alin, a high, Al is high, Jabal is mountain, so high mountain. So one of the village, small village, is located on that peak or the top of high mountain. Make sense? تحيط بها الأشجار الكثيفة. So here's another interesting verb. It comes a lot. You'll find it a lot. أحاط يحيط. What does it mean? Hmm? It means to surround something. So here we have al-ashjar. We have تحيط بها الأشجار الكثيفة. Kathifa is plenty, like a lot. Main translation of kathifa is thick. So these thick trees or plenty trees is surrounded by it. Okay, so surrounded by it. So remember who's surrounding what? The village is not surrounding the trees because of we have ahata bi, that means the village is surrounded by it, surrounded by the thick trees. وكان يسقط المطر غزيرا. What is سقط? سقط. سقط by itself means to fall. So, but here when he says saqatul matar, so of course we're talking about matar is what? Anybody knows? Matar is rain. So we're talking about rain falling. So what happened? So kana yasqutul matar. So the rain used to fall. Ghaziran. Ghaziran means plentiful, like a lot, plenty. So we're still talking about the village that it is on the peak of the mountain. It is surrounded by thick trees and a lot of rain used to fall. So what happens? فَتَزْدَادُ الْأَشْجَارُ خُضْرَةً. فَتَزْدَادُ. What is izdada? Izdada wa tazdadu, it means to increase. Increase. Okay? Izdad. Izdada yazdadu. فَتَزْدَادُ الْأَشْجَارُ. So the trees would increase. So now then he says khudratan. It's a very interesting another grammatical structure here. So he's saying that the trees would increase, but now he clarifies increase in terms of what? In terms of greenness. The akhdar, it means to green, but khudra here, it means greenness. So because you have to know what's the meaning. The meaning he's saying that the trees will increase with regards to its greenness. So this is called tamyiz. In Arabic grammar, it's called tamyiz. Then we said وَتَمْتَلِئُ الْآبَارُ وَالْعُيُونُ. Here's another verb. Lots of verbs, guys. امتلأ. Okay. امتلأ. امتلأ يمتلئ, it means to fill up something. So you say امتلأ الكوب, you filled up the cup. So we have تمتلئ الآبار. What is آبار? آبار is plural of بئر. What is بئر? Well, you know the well where you take waters out. What is عيون? It is the plural of what? عين. So now tell me what is the عين means here. What does عين mean here? Huh? So eyes are filled with waters, maybe? I don't know. Spring, yes. So here the عين means spring. So what he's saying that the wells and the springs would be filled. Makes sense? So it's giving you a very nice scenario. So as you can see, this is a very nice reading. You have to read by yourself with the meanings to appreciate, because we're touching the literature category here. So it is a little bit of literature reading here. Now, so he gives you a lot of words here. So qimma, showing you the peak. Alin is the high. Bi'r, that's the one. Okay, bi'r is the well. So abar, it would be plural. Ain is the spring, and uyun is the springs. So now what happens? وَكَانَ أَهْلُ تِلْكَ الْقَرْيَةِ. So this is the village. يَقْطَعُونَ الْأَشْجَارِ. So the people of that village was, okay, kana, was يَقْطَعُونَ. They would cut. قَطَعَ يَقْطَعُ is to cut al-ashjar. So they used to cut the trees. وَيَحْمِلُونَهَا إِلَى قَرْيَتِهِمْ. Okay, so if you want to practice your reading, if you can type it in before I translate, that's good. Just keep on translating it, no problem. Okay, so yes, so they would carry them out. يحملونها, ha goes back to what? Ashjar, whatever they used to cut. إلى قريتهم, to their villages. Now, ويقطعون خضوعها إلى قطع كبيرة من الخشب. A lot of interesting stuff here. ويقطعون خضوعها. So we just had the verb قطع, which is the form 1 if you know your morph. So, but this is not the form 1. This is the form 2. قطع. قطع. What does it mean? Huh? What does قطع means? So قطع means to cut. And if you understand the meanings of the form 2, in the form 2 we get two types of meaning. One meaning to make it into transitive. Another meaning is to make it extensive, like a lot. So this is the meaning we have. So if you cut a lot, so qata is means to cut, and qatta is means to chop. Okay, it means to chop. Yes, repetitive, that means you're chopping off. Okay, so this is the meaning. So يقطعون جذوعها. جذوع, this is a very hard word to pronounce. Huh? جذوع. It is this one, this tree trunk. I think it's called trunk. Is it? Yeah, this is the one. Now they give you the meaning. Okay, is the trunk. Very good. So جذوع is the plural. So they would be chopping the trunk. Okay, إلى قطع. So this is the plural of قطعة. What is قطعة? قطعة, piece. So they will chop them off in pieces. كبيرة, big pieces. من الخشب. What is خشب? Huh? Wood. Remember, there's another word I think you might have seen, حطب. The حطب is firewood. حطب would be firewood. Okay, and khashab would be general wood. Make sense? So you understand what's going on. So the people in that village, they would cut the trees and they would carry them to their villages, and they would chop its trunks into big pieces of woods. Mean here be translated as of. So now what happens? وَكَانَ أَهْلُ الْقَرْيَةِ يَرْبَحُونَ مَالًا كَثِيرًا مِنْ بَيْعِ الْأَخْشَابِ إِلَى النَّجَّارِينَ في المدينة الذين كانوا يصنعون منها أثاثا جميلا كالأسرة والمقاعد. Subhanallah, one sentence, big one sentence. So what he's saying, وَكَانَ أَهْلُ الْقَرْيَةِ, and the people of that village, يَرْبَحُونَ. What is رَبَحَ يَرْبَحُ? Huh? To profit. So they would profit مَالًا كَثِيرًا. Mal means money or wealth. Wealth. So they would profit a lot of wealth. Min بَيْعِ. I'll tell you one thing. Wallahi, even now, every time I read bay, what the word comes in my mind? Because this word buy, it sounds like English buy. Even now I get the hiccup. But the buy is the opposite of buy, right? Selling. Now, ishtara is to buy. So buy is to sell. Buy is selling, is the noun. Ba'a yabi'u is to sell. So bay'un would be the verbal noun, the selling. So they would profit a lot from selling akhshab, selling those woods, ilal najjarina. What is najjar? So najjar, najjaruna. It is carpenter. Very good. Ahsantum. Carpenter. Okay, so this is a plural. Remember, najjar is singular, najjaruna is the plural, but because you have ila, you need majrur state, so we say najjarina. So they would sell it to the carpenters, it's a plural, fil madina, in the city. Remember, they live in the village, so they would carry them and they will sell them to city to the carpenters. Alladhina, who, the people, right? Alladhina Kanu, they used to, yasna'una. Sana'a, yasna'u, it means to make something, okay? Sana'a, yasna'u, they will make, again, this is plural, so yasna'una, minha, from them, from those things, athathan. What is athath? Hmm? Anybody knows? Furniture, very good. Who said that? Naam, furniture. Jamilan, beautiful furniture. Kal asirra. What is asir? What is asirra? There's another plural for this one. This is a plural of one word you learned in Modina Book 1, Chapter 1, Lesson 1. Surur. Surur. Sururun. There's another plural. Asira from sarir. What is sarir? Beds. Naam. So it has two plural. Surur, I think, is more common, but asira, something that you should probably also know. Wal maqa'id. What is the maqa'id? This is a plural. So what is the singular? Maq'ad. 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 Yes, it means seat. Very good. Seat. Excellent. It's not the same thing at kursi. Kursi would be chair. Maqad is more like seat. It's showing a kursi chair. So this one we can call it kursi as well. But maqad by itself, the better meaning is the seat, any type of seat. You have a seat on the train, seat on the bus, you'll say maqad, not necessarily kursi. No, sofa. What is sofa? How do we say sofa in Arabic? It's in the Quran as well. Arika. I think this word's in the Quran as well, that they'll lean in their sofas. So here we have Najjar is the carpenter, you have Sarir, and you have Maq'ad. Now, so what happens? Very interesting story, by the way. You like the story. وبعد بضع سنوات بدأت الأشجار تتناقص في تلك الغابات تناقصا كبيرا. Okay. بعد بضع سنوات, after, what is bid'ah? Anybody knows? Very good. So we will probably translate few. I think that's the better term. So few, in a sense, when Arabs they use bid, it usually means from 3 to 7. Some people say 3 to 9. So there's a little bit dispute. But whatever it is, it's not a lot, and it cannot be 1 and 2, because if we have 1 and 2, so we use singular or the dual. So it has to be plural, but it cannot be so much. And this word is also in the Quran, in the Surah Ar-Rum, when the Rum was defeated. Then Allah said that after bid sanawat, they will win again. فهمتم؟ بدأت الأشجار تتناقص في تلك الغابات. So بدأت. So again, so now it has بدأت, and then you have the present tense verb. This would have been same thing as أخذت. You could have used أخذت الأشجار تتناقص. But when you say akhadat, it will be something that you actively doing, but badat, it is much better word here because something that is happening, not necessarily the tree is doing something, but it is something that's happening. فهمتم? So the trees started what? Tatanaqasu. What is tatanaqasu? Huh? It comes from the verb naqasa, naqasa, to decrease. Yes, naqasa is to decrease. But when you say tanaqasa, it has a meaning that it's something happening gradually. It's not necessarily it's happening right away, it's happening gradually. So it is decreasing. Yes, very good. Decreasing, I want to say gradually, slowly. That's the better translation for this form. في تلك الغابات, in that forest. So this is a plural. Then he says تناقصا كبيرا. So if you know your grammar, you'll recognize something. You'll recognize that we have a masdar and we have a verb of the same masdar. So what comes to your mind if you know your grammar? It comes the mutlaq. Now, so it is maf'ul mutlaq. So maf'ul mutlaq here, it is just emphasizing this verb. Okay, it's just emphasizing. That means it is decreasing. Okay, gradually decreasing, but it is decreasing a lot. فهمتم? وصار اللون. Sara, here's the word. Sara means to become. To become. This is also one of the sisters of Kana wa akhawatuha. So the lawn al-akhdar, so the green color became الذي كان يحيط بالقرية. So you have to read properly. So these are very good for reading comprehension because sometimes if you do word for word, you don't know where to start. You will only know where to start and make a pause. When you read the whole thing, then you will get a little bit of the meaning. So it says وصار اللون الأخضر الذي كان يحيط بالقرية. This is where you make the stop. And you will not know if you don't know what's going on. So it's a little bit challenging. And that's why you should really read this stuff a lot. In the beginning, you're going through word for word. That's wonderful because you're learning something. But then you should really go back and read plenty of time so that you're comfortable with this type of sentence structure. This is not super easy. So how will we translate it? The green color which used to, surround the village. You see, you have to say whole thing. Became what? Became يختفي شيئا فشيئا. It started becoming what? So here, Sarah would be, it started becoming. What is اختفى? What does اختفى means? If you know your tajweed, I think some similar verb, a similar word we use. اختفى, to hide or to go away, to remove, okay? To hide or to remove, going away, disappearing. Yes, that's the better word. The meaning will make sense when you translate. So what's happening? The green color which used to surround the village, it's becoming disappearing. Disappear. So disappearing how? Shay'an fa shay'an. So what does it mean? This is another interesting style. When it says shay'an fa shay'an, it means slowly, step by step. If somebody tells you, you say this is very difficult, then you say if'al shay'an fa shay'an. Do it step by step, slowly, meaning take it easy. Don't try to do everything at once. And now you know these things gives you a clue what tanaqasa meant. That things are happening slowly because one day nothing stops. So it's saying this: the trees are slowly disappearing one by one. Yes, you can do. You can translate one by one. It's whichever makes sense, as long as you understand what it means. Now, so now we have لاحظ سكان القرية أن المطر صار قليلا في منطقتهم. لاحظ. It's another very good verb. Anybody knows what لاحظ يلاحظ means? Hmm? No, يلاحظ. Still note. To note something. Not necessarily you writing a note, you note to observe something. Okay, so this is the meaning. So la hada sukkan. So what is sukkan? Sukkan here is the citizen or the people. Al qarya, the people of the village. Same thing as ahl qarya here. But sukkan in a context, it would mean the citizen, the people who live in that place. They noted, they observed أن المطر صار قليلا في منطقتهم. That the matar, remember anna wa khawatuha, it makes the subject mubtada into mansub. Okay, without the anna it would be al mataru sara qalilan fi mintaqatihim, but because of anna we have a fatha. That the rain became few qalil, few qalilan fi mintaqatihim, in there. What is mintaqa? This is another word I think you also found in Baina Yadayk and also many other book. Mintaqa is what? It's a like area, district area, district. So for example, you can say Mintaqa New York, in the district of the New York. So they started noting that the rain is becoming, or it became few in their area, Mintaqatihim, in their area. فَجَفَّتِ الْآبَارُ وَالْعُيُونُ. What is jaffa? To dry, to dry. So that we already know what abar and uyun means. So the wells and the springs dried. ولم تعد الأعشاب كافية لرعي الأغنام وغيرها من الحيوانات. Here's another interesting phrase here. لم يعد. First of all, what is عادة? It's from the عادة يعود. Hmm? What is عادة يعود? I already explained to you a little bit a while ago. To return. What is another word that you know? There's another word you should know from the Medina book. Raja'a, raja yarji'u. Same thing as return. So when you say just standard meaning, if ada ya'udu means to return, if we say lam ya'ud, remember because of lam, we will need to put a sukun here. And as soon as we put a sukun here, we have a sukun here. So we need to drop the waw, right? So we drop the waw. So lam ya'ud. So what does it mean? He did not return. He did not return. But here, that's not the meaning. It's not that it did not return al ashab. What is ashab, by the way? Hmm? Ujb is from ujb, right? What is ujb? Anybody knows? There's a two different meanings. The main would be grass. So the grasses, kafia. What is kafia? Enough. It means enough, right? Enough. Li ra'i. What is ra'i? Al-aghnam. What is ra'i and what is aghnam? I need all these vocabs. What is aghnam? Aghnam is a plural of ghanam. What is ghanam? These are very simple words. What is ghanam? Ghanam is sheep. Aghnam, yes, very good. Aghnam would be plural. And ra'i would be, what is the word? In this context, what do you call when the shepherds look after their sheep? I think there's an interesting term, right? Herd. Okay, that's good. So, the herding their sheep. Okay. وغيرها من الحيوانات. And other than that means other animals. حيوانات is animals. Animals. So, so what is lam ta'ud here means no longer. It means no longer. So now if you read the whole thing, you'll see how beautiful it makes sense. Lam ta'ud al-a'shab kafiyan. Kafiyatan. So that means the grass were no longer enough. See, the meaning is completely different. So the grasses are no longer enough to herd the sheep or other than it from the animals. Make sense? So it's not the same thing as he did not return. You have to know what it means in the context. Now, so let's continue. So we have اجتمع أهل القرية لدراسة ذلك الأمر الخطير. So اجتمع, so they gathered. Who gathered? أهل القرية, the people of the village. They gathered لدراسة. You should know what dirasa means. To study, to gather. ذلك الأمر, that matter, الخطير, that danger matter or serious. خطير can mean serious, it can mean danger, it can mean critical. It has a lot of this type of like severe meaning. So they gathered together in order to study this issue, this serious issue. وقرروا أن يهجروا ذلك المكان. وقرروا أن يهجروا ذلك المكان. So we already had the verb قرر, means to decide. So this is a plural form. So they decided أن يهجروا. What is hajara? To leave from the hijrah. Remember, we were supposed to do hijrah. So to leave, to depart, to move away. ذلك المكان, that place. So they decided to make hijrah, migrate. Very good. Migrate. Migrate. That place. Migrate. Do I have to write migrate from? Anyway. So then we have ليبحثوا عن مكان جديد. Okay, so here's another good verb. You'll find it a lot. بحث يبحث is to search. But if you're searching for something, you say بحث عن. The عن always comes with بحث. So that they can search for مكان, a place, جديد, a new place. You understand what they're deciding? They want to leave this place and they want to search for a new place. يتوافر فيه الماء الغزير. يتوافر. So this is another good verb. توافر. Anybody knows what it means? توافر, it means to be available. To be available. Okay? توافر فيه الماء الغزير. They're looking for a place where there will be a lot of plentiful water in it. Ha goes to the makan, the place that they're looking for. إلى جانب الأشجار الخضراء كثيرة. Next to جانب. جانب means next. Okay. إلى جانب, in next to lots of green trees. أشجار الخضراء الكثيرة. Okay. So you know what they're planning to do. They want to migrate to a place where lots of waters next to lot of green trees. So what happens? وبينما كان أهل القرية يستعدون للرحيل. So بينما, what does بينما means? بينما means when in a sense that something is about to happen. While, yes, I think while is the better translation. Very good. So بينما كان أهل القرية, so while the people of the village يستعدون. What is استعد? Huh? استعد. استعد. What does it mean? Prepare. Yes, good. Prepare. So while they are preparing للرحيل from رحلة, so here it means رحيل means to leave, depart. Yes, depart would be a better word. So while they're preparing to depart, مر بهم رجل عجوز فسألهم. مر بي. What is مر بي? To pass by. مر بي means to pass by. Pass by them a man. A man, what type of man? عجوز. What is عجوز? عجوز is elder. Here's interesting thing about عجوز. Ajuz, this form is for both masculine and feminine. As far as I know, you don't make into a ta marbuta when you want to mention a female, old or elder person. So marra bihim rajulun ajuzun. So a elder man passed by them. Fasa'alahum. So he asked them. What did he ask? لماذا قررتم الرحيل عن هذا المكان؟ لماذا قررتم الرحيل عن هذا المكان? Why? لماذا? Why? قررتم. You guys decided الرحيل to depart عن هذا المكان. Depart from this place. So what happens? تقدم أحد رجال القرية من العجوز وقال له. نعم. This is interesting thing here. تقدم أحد رجال القرية. تقدم means what? تقدم has a lot of different meanings. To proceed, to go forward, So what is أحد رجال القرية means one of the men of the village. نعم من العجوز. So here the mean might confuse you. You have تقدم من العجوز. What does it mean? So one of the men of the village, he proceeded, then you have a mean from al-ajuz. But this is where the technical thing happens. This is not a very common way of using mean, honestly. Taqaddama, we really don't use like this a lot, but honestly, what I'm sensing here is that they're giving you a lot of literature tone. This story has a little bit stronger tone. It has a meaning, it has a deeper structure, it gives you a visualization. So it has a little bit of literature element. So that's why he's using this construction here. Because when he said taqaddama mean, usually it means someone that goes to another person. فهمتم? So if I say taqaddamtu min ar-rajul, here it means that I physically went to that man. فهمتم? But as I mentioned to you, here the language is pretty strong. So what happened? One of the men from the village, he, meaning physically, went to the elder person. That's what it means. وقال له, and he told him, يا عم, oh uncle. I suppose that's in every culture, I guess. When you don't know someone and he's elder, you call them uncle. لم يبقى لم يبقى في هذا المكان ماء يكفي. لم يبقى. So this is, what is يبقى? بقي يبقى. What does it mean? To remain. Remain. Remember the spelling is بقي يبقى. 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 بقي يبقى. So we lose the alif here because of the lam and the sukun that I mentioned to you earlier. So lam yabqa fi hadha al-makan. Okay, in this place, ma'un. So what's not remain? So look, subhanallah, look at this structure. Honestly, this you have to read this story a lot of times because as you can see, the doer is way at the end here. So when you said lam yabqa, what is remaining? What's remaining? He's talking about ma'un yakfi, the water which is enough. So the water which is enough is not remain in this place. You see the structure here? So it's very nice. Wala ashjarun naqta'uha, or trees, talking about the remaining, or trees which naqta'uha, we cut it, which we cut. Okay, so if you know a little bit of grammar, what is the relationship between ashjar and naqta'uha? Pretty hard question if you know. This would be what? Adjective. This verb is coming in as an adjective of ashjar. Because if you have indefinite nouns and you have a verb that's describing that noun, that's an adjective. Anyway, what he's saying, wala ashjarun naqta'uha. So trees that we cut. So it's not remain enough. So we don't have enough of these. Wa nabi'u akhshabaha, and that we sell its woods. Naam. Khashab and akhshab is woods. فلم نعد نستطيع العيش في هذا المكان. We have the same structure here again. لم يعود. So he says فلم نعود. What it says نستطيع العيش في هذا المكان. So who wants to translate? I'll give you a second, few seconds. Someone please translate this one for me. First of all, what is نستطيع? We are able, is to be able to. نستطيع means we're able. We are able to عيش, to live in this place. So who wants to translate this sentence for me? So we are no longer, sound very good. So yes, so here the meaning will come. We're no longer able to live in this place. You understand? So we're no longer able to live in this place. So that's their complaint. That's what they're explaining to the man. فقال العجوز. So the older or the elder man said, إذا رحلتم إلى مكان آخر هل ستكفون عن قطع الأشجار فيه? So he's asking a question. إذا رحلتم, if you go, if you go to إلى مكان آخر, if you migrate to another place. Okay. هل ستكفون عن قطع الأشجار فيه. So we have a verb كف. What is كف? Hmm. Kaffa means to stop, something that you're doing. So he's asking when you move to another place, هل ستكفون, will, future tense, takufuna, you plural, will you all stop عن قطع الأشجار, from cutting the trees فيه, would you stop from cutting the trees in there? Okay, so he's asking them because that's what you've been doing all this time. Then what he says, لن تحل الرحيل مشكلتكم. So what is حل يحل? Here it comes as the meaning as to solve, to solve. This departure there, what you're trying to do, this departure will not solve. What won't it solve? مشكلتكم. It's a maful bihi. Your problems. Your problem. فهمتوا? So it's saying, if you look at the question, it's saying, when you move there, will you stop cutting the trees in it? Tone is rhetorical, right? Then he's saying, then your trip, your departure will not solve your problems. So what does they say? قال أحد رجال القرية. So one of the men of the village says ولكن ماذا نفعل? But then what do we do? لكن but ماذا نفعل? What do we do? ابتسم العجوز. What is ابتسم? Smiling. Now, so smiling. So who? This is a past tense. So who smiled? Al ajuz. So the old man smiled in the past tense. قليلا, a little. ثم قال. So he laughed a little bit and then he, or smiled a little bit, and then he said, ألا تعلمون أن الأشجار تجلب المطر. So what is this question? ألا, don't you know? ألا تعلمون, don't you know? علم يعلم. It's to know. So it's a, remember, now we're getting all of them second person plural, masculine. Right? Now, so don't you know أن الأشجار, that the trees تجلب. This is a very strong word. Strong word meaning it's a rich word. What does it mean? جلب. One of the قواعد الفقهية is المشقة تجلب التيسير. You'll memorize this when you study. المشقة تجلب التيسير. So what is jalaba means? To bring. Don't you know that the trees is the one that brings the rain? Don't you know that? وحين قطعتم الأشجار قلت المياه. So when, the time when you قطعتم, when you cut the trees, قلت, from the qalil, قلت, decrease, become less, became less, shortage. Okay, that's good. المياه. So what is مياه? So we have حين قطعتم الأشجار قلت المياه. What is مياه? It is the plural of ما, water. Now you might be thinking, can we say waters? What does it mean to have a plural of waters? When you drink a lot of water, do you say sharabtul miyah? Even in English, do you say waters? I drank lots of waters. No, you don't. But the question is, can you ever say waters in English? The first chapter of the fiqh is Babul Miyah, the chapter of waters. The first chapter of any fiqh book, if you study, it will start with Babul Miyah, the chapter of waters. So why they're saying waters here? It means different types of water. You're not talking about one water being less or more. No, for example, you're talking about river water, sea water, then you're talking about some other water. So that means you're talking about types of water. Okay. Now, so this is the plural. So he's saying that the water. So now why did then he use the plural here? Look at how precise this text is. SubhanAllah, I'm very impressed. You have to go back in the beginning. What was he's talking about? Anybody can think about? In the beginning, he was talking about abar and uyun. See, you are talking about two different types of water here. Now, then we have a river. So he's counting all of them. The waters in the well, the waters in the spring, and the waters in maybe in the river, whatnot. So he is counting all of them. So he's not talking about the water in general. He's talking about all these different types of water. So very, very precise. So he's saying, don't you know that the trees brings water, and when you guys cut the trees, the waters became shortage. Now, وَجَفَّتِ الْعُيُونَ. Jaffa, we already had. The springs dried up. Makes sense? So what happens? طلب سكان القرية من الشيخ أن يجد لهم حلا لمشكلتهم. So طلب سكان القرية. What is طلب means? To request. People of the village, they requested from the sheikh that, here he's saying sheikh. What is the meaning of the sheikh is coming? Same thing, ajuz. Remember, sheikh has different meanings. Here, from the context, we know it means the elder person. And yajida lahum, that he finds for them. Wajada yajidu, we had it before now, to find. Lahum, for them. Hallan, a solution. Why do we have hallan with the fatha? Because this is maf'ul bihi, object. Li mushkilatihim, for their problem. So find a solution for their problem. Faqal, and then he said, al hallu indi, the solution at me or with me. أن تزرعوا بدل كل شجرة تقطعونها ثلاث شجرات. So here you're getting the meaning of the title. So what he says, the hal عندي, the solution for me. Here عندي means في رأيي, in my opinion. It's the same meaning as رأيي. That you antazra'u, it should have been tazra'una. If you are paying attention with your verbs or your grammar, you have an. So we nahdhifu an noon. We remove the noon. This is why, because this is minal af'al al khamsa. It's among the 5 verbs. So you should tazra'un. What is zara yazra'u? It means to cultivate, to plant, to farm. نعم. بدل كل شجرة. In exchange of every tree, تقطعونها, which you cut. See, this is a very complex sentence. I'm telling you, if you are not fluent in reading, if you haven't been practicing with the previous reading, this will be difficult. It's not that easy reading, because you have to know where to start and what's going on, because these verbs are coming as an adjective. So this is making it very difficult. These verbs are coming as an adjective. So he's saying that for every tree that you cut, in exchange of every tree that you cut, thalatha shajaratin, 3 trees. So look, this is the maf'ul bihi of tazra'un. So how can you translate in English? Or what is he saying? He's saying that my opinion, the solution with me is that you will plant 3 trees in exchange of every tree that you cut. Make sense? See, when you translate now, you have to go back and forward. Things are a little bit more complex. It's not that easy sentence here. I can tell you that. It's definitely not an easy sentence. You want me to read one more time? Al-hallu indi, the solution is with me. An tazra'u, that you cultivate or you plant. Badala kulli shajaratin taqta'unaha, in exchange of every tree which you cut. Thalatha shajarat, 3 trees. So you have to plant 3 trees for every tree that you cut. It is tricky and it is fun. Yes, that's the word I want to hear. It is fun. So tricky doesn't mean you get scared off. No, tricky is good. You're learning something very interesting. وَبِذَلِكَ تَزْدَادُ الْأَشْجَارُ. With that, the trees will be increasing. وَيَكْثُرُ الْمَاءُ. and the water will increase or be plentiful. Make sense? This is a very, very good story. And this story, it is, you're getting a taste of literature. It is not just simply saying what happened and this is happening, that happening. No, it has a deep meaning and it gives you a very visualization. It sets the plot. It has everything that story has, a good story needs.